Hi, my name's Cordy, and on this channel, on Fridays, I like to talk about chords. My name is Cordy. I wanted to just tell you a story about my chords. Growing up, I wasn't very well off. We grew up on a farm. I didn't have any trousers that fit one day. I think either they were in the wash, probably spilt yogurt on them or something. And my mum had some grey chords that she sent me to school in, and I felt really embarrassed about it. And we had a sewing teacher whose name was Gay. I don't think she was gay. She used to give sewing lessons, and in that sewing lesson I cut a small hole in the chords so that I wouldn't ever have to wear them again. Anyway, so this lesson whatever, we're talking about chords, and we're going to be talking about what you can do with a minor 7 flat 5 chord. Now, basically what I'm going to be talking about, how you can use this kind of arpeggio or chord to access altered harmony. If you want to look up what altered harmony is, or the melodic minor scale, you could do that. It's not going to be super theory heavy, but we'll be touching on some of that stuff. Yeah, basically, if you want the short version of it, say you were playing in B flat major, you might have a 2-5-1, so it would be C minor, F dominant altered, then back to B flat. So over that, I'm suggesting that we can use two minor 7 flat 5 chords to outline the altered. So that's what I wanted to talk about in this lesson. So if you don't want to watch any further, you can use, say we were in B flat major and you're playing over the 5, so that F, you could use either an F minor 7 flat 5 or an E flat minor 7 flat 5. Those would both be coming from the F sharp melodic minor. From the F sharp melodic minor scale, and that will work over that chord 5. So let's just talk now a little bit more about why it is, and I'll give you the slightly longer version of it. So when you harmonise the major scale, and we can do this in triads, you can also do this in 7th chord, so you get a B flat major 7, C minor 7, D minor 7, E flat major 7, F dominant 7, G minor 7, and then on the 7th degree we build a minor 7 flat 5 chord. And typically you will hear this used as part of a minor 2-5-1. So if we were in B flat, you might hear that. So an A minor 7 flat 5 to a D dominant to a G minor. And you could use that to transition into the relative minor of whatever key you're in. So in C major, you'd be using that 7th degree, which would be B minor 7 flat 5. Okay, so back to B flat major. So our typical minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio that we might use in B flat major might be the one starting on A. So that might be the sort of arpeggio chord that you might use semi-often, you know. But this occurred to me the other day. So we're thinking about being in B flat major, and we know that anytime we see a dominant, we can sort of access altered harmony for that. So an F dominant would be F sharp melodic minor. And that would be how we would access that sound. So you might see a 2-5-1, which could be this kind of thing. And then just then so I was thinking about that. So instead of thinking about the whole kind of 3-note per string melodic minor shape, so the way I visualize it is just thinking of it as F sharp melodic minor. Is there any way we can use kind of smaller shapes? So when we harmonize the melodic minor scale, you get a different kind of set of arpeggios. So minor major 7, minor 7, augmented, then dominant 7, dominant 7, and here's what I'm talking about and what we're interested in here. And minor 7 flat 5, another minor 7 flat 5, and then we're back to the beginning. So if we descend, we end up with minor major 7, minor 7 flat 5, minor 7 flat 5, dominant 7, then this augmented thing, then minor 7, and then again a minor 7, minor major 7, sorry. Okay, so in there you saw that there's the 2 minor 7 flat 5 thing. So you can use these to access the harmony of that altered scale without necessarily having to think about the whole shape. So you might go from a C minor to an F minor 7 flat 5, back down to a B flat or C minor, E flat minor 7 flat 5, and then so you got that 2 5 1, or so you're accessing that harmony in quite an easy or comparatively easy way without having to think about a massive shape. And so all you're doing, if you pay attention, is just building an F minor 7 flat 5 from the root of whatever the chord 5 is, or a tone below the root. So, for instance, this kind of lick, this is something that I've been playing around with this morning. So a C minor 9, and then an F minor 7 arpeggio, F minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, and then a chromatic run up to the B flat. And the other thing, because you know we said there was 2 minor 7 flat 5s in that altered scale, are so C minor 7 and then an E flat minor 7 flat 5. So quite a cool sound, I think. Then the other thing is you could use this in like a blues context or whatever. So sometimes going between the chord 1 and chord 4, people might use the altered scale or melodic minor harmony to move away from the 1 to the 4. So in that case you could think about just building the minor 7 flat 5 from the root. So just before we approach the E flat, if we're playing in B flat, we might say I'm going to use one of these minor 7 flat 5 arpeggios, or you could use the tone below. So and I think it's got a really cool sound. So that's just what I wanted to share with you, something that sort of came into my awareness this week and something that I want to try and practice a bit more. Think about inversions as well. So like we're saying, we're playing in B flat here, so over that dominant, the F, I'm going to be thinking about a minor 7 flat 5 arpeggio, but you could also start that from the 3rd, so that's from the root, and you could start it from the 3rd, so that would be like this. But you can see there's going to be 2 other kind of arpeggios to go with that because it's a 4-note arpeggio. That's something to think about. And then, yeah, I'm going to try that in all sorts of different keys. I'm going to put this sheet that I'm working from up on Patreon, but I wouldn't join until March if you're considering doing this, because you get charged for the end of February as well. So you get charged when you join, then you'll get charged at the start of the month, the next month. So just wait until the first of the month if you wanted to check this out. But yeah, as I'm saying, over that dominant chord, I'm building minor 7 flat 5 arpeggios to access that altered harmony. Hopefully that was useful to someone. Thank you for stopping by. If you wanted to like and subscribe, you could. As I say, Fridays there's normally a chord lesson like this one. But yeah, try that. Minor 7 flat 5 chords to access altered harmony. If you want the altered scale, you can just build it off the root, the minor 7 flat 5 chord of wherever you are. So you know, if your chord 5 is a B flat, you could just use a minor 7 flat 5 built off the B flat. And then for this F, it would be built off of the F or the E flat. Thank you for stopping by. Cheers.